Hello friends, Tanya here for Trinity Stamps, and today we're doing another sneak peek for the October release. I'm going to be playing with a couple of new products. The first one is the Santa Mug Dies. This die set has so many elements to it. It is so fun. Very Christmassy. We've got a mug and a Santa face, this cool whip topping, a snowflake, some holly leaves, and a gingerbread man. And guess what? I used them all on one card. It is so cute. You're getting to see me assemble the Santa face on our mug. And here is our whip topping, which I'm going to have as kind of a hat. We're going to take this furry brim and glue that down and then carefully tuck the whip topping below the edge of the fur trim. Now you could put Mr. Santa's face farther down on the mug so that it looked like more of a graphic instead of the Santa face being just part of the mug or the treat. But this is how I first assembled it, and I actually kind of like it. Next we have a couple of eyebrows that we're going to adhere, and the nose and the rosy cheeks, and that will pretty much round out Santa's face. I'm just quickly adhering those to the face using some precision glue. The Crafty Gluefriend glue would work just as well. Just using the pokey end of my pickup tool, which is, or pickup stick. Yes, that's what it's actually called. It's actually a super good tool for assembling your cards in general. I use it all the time, both ends. And somehow when I was crafting with my grandson a couple of months ago, I lost one of the caps for the end. So I just try to protect the wax tip and keep that covered most of the time. I do love these reverse tweezers, and we're going to use those to help adhere our buckle on Santa's belt. And you could use the skinny strip that's the brim of the coffee cup to make the belt a little higher and a little thinner. I did do that on a different version that you'll see at another time. But this looks great too on the bottom of the mug. I'm going to add some white puff embossing powder to the beard, the mustache, and the eyebrows. Now I'm using an embossing pen to apply the white puff embossing powder, but you could use your Versamark or your Juicy ink pad to do that before you apply them to the mug. But I forgot. That's just the way it goes. I am using my heat tool to get that puff embossing powder to melt and be fluffy and snow-like or beard-like. I do heat the back and the front since there are several layers and liquid glue involved, and there could be some funny warping. Next, we're going to do some ink blending. We've got Salvaged Patina, Uncharted Mariner, Villainous Potion, and Black Soot Distress Oxide inks here. And I'm going to use those to ink blend over a 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece of white cardstock that I have glimmer hot foiled with some Aura foil and a new set of foil plates coming out in October. These are the little bows, big bows, and there are coordinating stamps and dies that were released, I believe, last year. Might have been the year before, but you can get coordinating dies to go with these foiled bows. So cute. And I love how the ink blending lights those up and really brings them the prominence. We're also going to use some Distress Mica stain in Harvest Moon, which has this bright gold or yellow appearance. Just dabbing a little bit on an acrylic block and spattering that over my project to add some gold spatter. I had spattered it earlier with some water. I do love a good spatter. And I think it just helps bring that night sky feeling into this card. Next, I'm going to use the Modern Embossed A7 stack rectangle dies. And I'm using, I think it's a 4.5 by 6.5 inch die. That's going to mat this card very nicely. I have a 5x7 card base here in white, and our cup fits on there perfectly. I do love a 5x7 card. I don't know if any of you have converted to it yet, but I highly encourage it. They make lots of stamps and dies that work perfectly on this size. You can use your slimline products on it, and it just gives you a bigger canvas to play with. And it does make an impressive presentation when you give it to someone. We're also going to incorporate a sentiment from the Winter Winds stamp set. If you recall, we released the Shimmering Winds foiling plate in August that coordinates with all of the breeze and wind products, but you can pull this in to other suites of products also to help build your scenes and your sentiments. I've stamped this on some white cardstock, and I stamped it with VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, and I am embossing it with some clear embossing powder because I wanted that extra special, and I do this with all of my sentiments pretty much. I like to have that extra shiny, little bit raised, extra specialness about my sentiment. I really want it to stand out well. There is a coordinating die for the Winter Winds stamp set, and I use that to die cut this sentiment. And now I'm going to trim it down with these kind of slightly bubble cut or fussy cut looking sentiments. It's really easy to trim them apart and separate the words so you can line them up however you'd like them on your card. Now I found the best spot to put this on this card was in the lower left corner. Let's not forget our beautiful snowflake that was die cut from some white glitter cardstock, and our cute little gingerbread man. Now there are two versions of gingerbread men. Turns out the eyes and mouth I used on that gingerbread man can actually be used as eyes and mouth for the Santa. I just didn't figure that out myself right away. But I think he makes a pretty cute gingerbread man too. I love the holly berries and leaves. And we're using a little bit of skinny strip dimension foam to pop these up. That is a new item in the Trinity store also. And I love that they line up so cute next to this mug and the gingerbread man. Next, we're going to use some milk glass gems here. I think they work perfect icy accents for the snowflake. And we're going to scatter those across the card and on top of our whipped cream top hat. Hat topping? There we go. And we'll just add a few gems above to the one corner. And as I always do, it's across a diagonal from one corner to the other across the card to help your eyes follow across the design. I do like to use a variety of sizes, and we always get these nice, big, gorgeous gems, but that I don't use very often on most of my designs, but works perfect in the middle of that snowflake. We're going to take a sentiment from the Holiday Tag Helper that came out last year as our inside sentiment, and I'm just going to stamp that with VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And then I'm going to take a couple of snowflakes that I die cut with some shimmery white cardstock because the glitter cardstock tends to be a little thicker and harder to put on the inside of your card. Super simple inside, only takes a couple elements and not a lot of planning. That is the entire card I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're getting excited about this release that's coming up in just a week. I am so excited about it myself. So many awesome, gorgeous products. Stay tuned. There will be a new release, a sneak peek every day until the release day on Wednesday, October 5th. If you're interested in any of the supplies that I've used today, check that description box. I'll have them listed and I'll get them linked as soon as they become live in the store. Until next time, here's a couple more videos I thought you might enjoy. Bye-bye.